Sara Gilbert's name brings back a lot of memories for people who watch the hit show Roseanne. Since her days as Darlene Connor Healy, Sara has been through a lot of hard things in her life that have no doubt changed her. It has not been easy for her to deal with her identity, relationships, and fame. This is her story, which shows how complicated it is to be beautiful, weak, and strong at the same time. Sara Gilbert was born on January 29, 1975 in bright Santa Monica, California. Her real name was Sarah Rebecca Abeles. She was born to Barbara Cowan and Harold Abels, who were both Jewish. Her famous grandpa on her mom's side was Harry Crane, who created the Honeymooners, and Julia Crane was a dancer who was once called Miss Brooklyn. She got the last name Gilbert from Paul Gilbert, her mother's first husband, in 1984. Sara's family has a lot of ties to Hollywood. She has a sister named Patrice and a brother named Joseph, who are both older than her. Then there are Melissa and Jonathan Gilberg, two older adopted siblings who were famous for being on Little House on the Prairie. Her mother Barbara, who had previously married her father Paul, had adopted Jonathan and Melissa while she was married to actor Paul, had a brain bleed and died in 1975. Her parents, Harold and Barbara, split up not long after Paul died. Sara changed her last name from Abeles to Gilbert in 1984 so that she could become an actress. Barb Crane, her mom, worked as a director and talent manager in Hollywood, so she knew a lot about the city. As a child, Sara was smart and active, and she was also very competitive, so she wanted to do something like her bigger half-siblings, the cool stuff. The fun she and her brothers had on the set of Little House on the Prairie made her want to be an actress. Her big break came when she was only 13. She had already been in TV movies and a Kool-Aid ad. As Darlene Connor on Roseanne, the smart middle child, she got the part. Darlene went from being a kid to a teen who was art and politics. The show Sara was on the show from 1988 to 1997, the whole time it was on. She was so important to the business that she wrote the plot for an episode in the 4th season called Don't Make Over. Because her ideas were so important to Roseanne, the producers had to make big changes to plans and plots. She could stay on the show and study at Yale at the same time. She filmed Darlene's scenes in New York while the rest of the group was in Hollywood. Critics even said that the way she played her character's teen life was spot on and funny. From 1991 to 1993, she won 3 Young Artist Awards. In 1993 and 1994, she was nominated for 2 Emmy Awards for Best Supporting Actress. Sara did more than watch TV. There were also breaks in movies, where she worked with Drew Barrymore on 2 pictures. In 1992, they were in Poison Ivy together for the first time. In 2001, they were back together in Riding in Cars with Boy. In 1999, she was in Light It Up too. Even though things were going well for her, her dad wasn't doing well with money. He used to be a wealthy lawyer, but things went badly for him after he divorced her mother in 1983. When he first asked Sara for money, she gladly gave it to him. But the calls kept coming, which made the relationship worse. She remembered, "I was 18 or 19 years old and making more money than any teen should have been making at the time. My only wish was for him to be my dad." She finally chose to stop giving her dad money, but she later thought about how hard it must have been for him to ask. It's better to give to your family. When Harold got sick in his later years, Sara took over as his main helper until he died. At times, she turned down his request for money when he really needed it, so she tried to make up for it. Sara continued to make a name for herself in the entertainment business after leaving Roseanne. She had small parts in movies like $30.00, which was also known as $30 as part of the Boy's Life feature, and High Fidelity. There were times when she even tried to direct. In 1998, she made a short movie called Persona Non Grata. The Hot L Baltimore was part of the Williamstown Theater Festival in Massachusetts in 2000, and she was in it. Sara has been on 24 episodes of The Simpsons, Will and Grace, Law and Order, SVU, and Private Practice. Starting in 2004, Sara went back to watching TV after school. She played smart and sarcastic medical student Jane Fiegler on the long-running hospital soap ER. She was in episodes from seasons 11 through 13. She was in the 2005 season of the WB network show Twins, but the job didn't last long because the show ended after only one season because of a merger of the networks. She also played Fern Welch on the CBS show The Class from time to time. From 2007 to 2010, she played Leslie Winkle on The Big Bang Theory. Leslie was Johnny Galecki's character, Leonard Hofstadter's smart friend. There had been other times when she had worked with Galecki. Her character in her first TV show, Roseanne, was in love with him. By chance, they were now being considered as a possible love interest on The Big Bang Theory. Sara's part on The Big Bang Theory got bigger in the second season because she worked so hard at her job. This meant that both Galecki's character and Howard Wolowitz's character were interested in her. This went on until 2009. The writers of the show were having a hard time fitting her into the plot at this point. Sara used to be a regular cast member, but now she only shows up sometime. Other characters like Amy Farrah Fowler and Bernadette Rostenkowski got more attention than hers, and Leslie Winkle was written out. In a strange way, this was a good thing because it gave her more time to work on other things, like becoming the co-host and the brains behind The Talk, a cool talk show that started airing on October 18, 2010. A Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Entertainment Talk Show was given to her in 2016 because of how well she did on the show. This was all because she produced and created it. Sara's time as a co-host was over after 3 years. Her next job was as an executive producer for the return of the show Roseanne. The 8 episodes were bought by ABC and began showing on March 27, 2018. Things looked good with all the talk about the show. The numbers went up, and even the critics liked it. They chose to make a second season because of this. On May 29, 2018, someone caused trouble on social media by saying bad things about Valerie Jarrett, who used to work for former President Barack Obama. The party had to end. ABC canceled the show's return after only 1 season because of all the trouble. Even though Sara said that she and the show had nothing to do with the social media drama, that didn't change the choice that had already been made. In fact, the show had been on the edge for a while. Roseanne had said she was going to quit, but rumors have it that this happened almost every year on the set. The directors even thought about stopping all production if Dan Connor wasn't going to be on the show anymore. Even though the show was canceled, ABC quickly saw how the Roseanne incident could be used to make a new deal. They said, on June 21, 2018, that they were going to make a spin-off show called The Connors. The known faces from Roseanne would be on this show, with a few characters being taken out. The first episode of the show aired in October 2018, and Sara not only played the lead role, but also made all the decisions as an executive director. In 2019, she joined forces with director Tom Werner to make Sara Plus Tom, a powerful company formed by combining Sara's TV company with Werner Entertainment. This business partnership went on for 30 years. They worked together because of how well their relationship with the Connors went, but Sara had to quit as co-host of The Talk after 9 seasons because of the launch. When season 10 of the CBS afternoon talk show began in the fall, Marie Osmond took her place. Sara was in charge of making a new show called The Pradeeps of Pittsburgh, in addition to The Connor. Sony Pictures Television and Amazon Studios worked together to make this 8-episode show, which aired every week for 30 minutes. The star with many skills stayed busy and tried her hand at different kinds of art outside of acting and her job. Sara looked for happiness in her personal ties. Her first relationship was with Galecki, her co-star from Roseanne, when she was a teenager. They later dated on The Big Bang Theory, where their characters were also in a relationship. She learned that she was a lesbian during this time. Her real name had to be revealed to the public, which was hard for her. She stated that she still went for it, even though she was seeing someone 18 years older than her. She remembered telling him, "I dated Johnny Galecki for a while when I was a teenager. On Roseanne, he was my husband and lover. I fell in love with him because I thought he was so cute. For a while, we went on dates where he would come over and kiss. After that, though, I would feel sad. Even after this news came out, she and Galecki stayed close friends." Sara began going out with Ali Alder, a TV director, in 2001. Between them, they have 2 children. Sawyer Sarah's daughter, Jane, was born in August 2007, and Alder's boy, Levi Hank, was born in October 2004. She and Alder broke up, which was sad. There is no known reason for the breakup, but Sara was truly sad to see her romance end. The breakup made her think a lot about her life and her purpose. She said, "It's hard for me now that we're not together. I need to tell everyone." In a sweet moment, she also said that she had told Galecki that she was going to talk about this on The Talk. His offer to go on the show and hold her hand while she did it showed how much he cared and supported her. It's clear that these two really care about each other. Posting cute old photos all the time on social media, there is no doubt that they are close, whether it's an old ad picture, a still from Roseanne's first season, or a more recent picture. The Sara Gilbert has a real heart, and posts like this have probably kept me from going crazy in this business town over the years. Soap, I love you. It's clear that they were meant to be together. Gavin and Sarah's relationship in high school may not have lasted long, but their friendship of many years is something to respect. In 2018, Sara talked about how they were friends on and off screen, which was the best proof of their friendship. She met Linda Perry and fell in love with her after breaking up with her last partner. Photographers got Sara and the former Four Non Blondes frontwoman on a walk over the weekend and told the other panelists on The Talk that they knew about her new relationship. Da was out, the cameras were there, and all of a sudden, my new relationship was all over the news. I was caught off guard when I saw it everywhere, before I had a chance to get used to it. Some things went wrong between Sara and Linda. They told everyone they were engaged in the spring of 2013, and their beautiful wedding took place on March 30, 2014. When Gilbert gave birth to their son Rhodes Emilio Gilbert Perry on a special day in February 2015, their love story hit a whole new level. Even though Sara and Adler said at first that they were ending their relationship amicably, Adler is said to have felt deeply betrayed when Sara married Linda. There were rumors going around that Sara had broken up with her long-term boyfriend, Adler, for Perry, which would have caught Adler by surprise. A source said that Allison felt like she had been hit for good when Sara and Linda got engaged. The reason Sara and Linda broke up is Sara has always worked hard to keep her private life out of the public eye, even though she has a successful job and a large following. Even though her co-host on The Talk talked about their spouses in the CBS News release for the show, Gilbert chose not to talk about her own personal life. She had been honest about why she made this choice. "Of course I'm going to talk about my life more on this talk show, but I didn't think that a CBS News release was the best place to start." A formal news release might not have seemed like the right place for her to talk about her personal problems because it is so impersonal. It just seemed casual, she said. "I'd rather come in person and talk to you about all that stuff here." She said that after the talk, she couldn't give her 3 kids the time I wanted to or remember to take care of herself. It makes it clear that she wants more privacy, which is hard to get when you're a guest on a talk show. She says it makes her feel better to think that if anything happens in her personal life, she doesn't have to talk about it. "I think that part of my goal when I went on the show was to push myself in that way and grow mentally and emotionally, but I'm ready to let go of that part of it." Sara is very careful about how much she shares about her life because she values her own privacy and limits. She put a cap on any private to remember, people that they can and should control the story about their own personal experiences. In a time when the lives of celebrities are often closely watched by the public, Sara had been juggling a lot of work obligations for a long time, and it was starting to show in her health. She also wanted privacy. She had stopped working out totally after the birth of her 3rd child, both physically and emotionally. She was worn out from her busy routine. She was sure that something had to alter. She made an easy choice because she was determined to get her health back. Every day, she would set aside just 15 minutes to move. She told him, "I wanted to get back into exercise because I missed the physical and mental benefits." Sometimes she would even find time for an hour of yoga to relax. These mindful moves not only made her body stronger, but they also calmed her mind down after a long day of work. She stopped putting off taking care of her health. By setting aside just 15 minutes a day, she had learned again how important it is to take care of herself regularly. Her dedication and willingness to work hard had paid off. But as time went on, Sara and Perry chose to split up. After 5 years, Sara officially filed for divorce from Linda. She wrote that they were no longer together as of August 13, 2019, and said that they couldn't get along anymore. The couple, who used to be together all the time, had bad luck, and by December 27, 2019, they were officially divorced. She talked about her friendship with Sara at the Art of Elysium Gala at the Hollywood Palladium in January 2020. She told me to just enjoy life as it is and let things happen. I'm still having a great time with Sara. I love her. I love her so much. Even so, they got a divorce